Hey everyone, NoelEQ here, and it's been a while, but I'm back with another devlog for Wyld Land, the 2D bullet hell MMO coming to your browser. A lot has happened since the last devlog, so let's dive right in. First off, we held our third alpha test, and it was a big success. We had a couple of hundred participants, which was a little less than alpha test 2, but I think we can largely chalk that up to bad timing on my part for holding the test during the launch weekend of Path of Exile 2. Not the best idea in hindsight. However, we still got a lot of good data from that test. In particular, the good news is that all of the major bugs in the game seem to be addressed at this point. There are still a ton of annoying bugs, don't get me wrong, but bugs like enemies totally desyncing and getting stuck, enemies teleporting into walls, folks losing their loot, and other game-breaking issues like those seem to be all good now. That's major progress. In addition to that, we rolled out a lot of great new changes to the game in Alpha Test 3, including new corrupted damage mechanics, the itemization and loot scaling rework, some new bosses, and more, and all of those were really well received. I'm really feeling good about the direction the game is taking at this point. So to summarize, Alpha Test 3 in the books, really great progress made on the game. But what have I been up to since then? Why no devlog videos? Why has the Discord been so quiet? Let me tell you about some really exciting things that have been happening behind the scenes for Wyld Land. As you may remember, I announced that I have quit my day job to work on Wyld Land full-time. That's a great first step toward making Wyld Land an even better game than it would be as a nights and weekends project. But I want to take it even further than that, which is why I'm pleased to announce that we've made our first 2 full-time hires. CJ and Nico are joining me on this journey and will be helping me work on the game by adding new content and helping us get the word out about the game as we head toward our full release. You'll likely see them hanging around the Discord in the near future, so be sure to say hello. We've also got Naduko continuing to work on art for the game, and in addition to all of that, I've got a little secret project underway with Fair Animation, a Brazilian animation studio. It's a little too early to show off the whole thing, but here's a few sneak peeks at what they've been working on. I'm so excited to see these characters coming to life in new ways, and it's really great to have even more folks pitching in on the game and helping me make it that much better. Between the holidays and the hundreds of job applications and dozens of interviews that I did, it took my focus away from the Discord and devlogs for a few weeks. My hope is that now that we're past that period, it should be full steam ahead toward the rest of the Wyld Land development schedule for 2025. So let's talk about that development schedule. While we aren't ready to commit to a firm release date yet for the game's full launch, we'll have a whole lot of opportunities coming up for you to get your hands on Wyld Land and give us your feedback. Today I'm pleased to announce that we're going to hold another alpha test beginning January 31st, and this one will run for 5 days, so you'll have extra time to get in and play. There will be a lot of new and interesting things to test out, including our first world events, new bosses, new biomes, improved enemy pathing, and more. Be sure to join the Discord server if you haven't already to get notified when the alpha test is live, and for instructions on how you can participate. Some of you may recall that I had said the last test we held would be the last alpha test for the game. After thinking it over, while I do feel like we are much farther along than we were when we started alpha tests, I think there are a few key systems in the game that aren't in yet, like world events and trading, that I want to get in before we officially move on to the beta phase. In addition to that, my intent is to only do a character wipe between major phases from now on, which means the next 2 alpha tests you'll be able to pick up where you left off without needing to start over. It just feels easier to keep calling it an alpha for now, and then have that bright line of the beta starting when we do the next wipe and officially add Steam as a distribution channel. And in case you haven't heard, we now have a Steam page for the game. If you haven't already, be sure to wishlist the game on Steam. That really helps with visibility for the game, and it also will allow us to remind you when the Steam demo launches and when the game fully releases. The web version isn't going anywhere, but I'm excited to bring the game to as many platforms as possible, and I'm hoping that exposure on Steam will help even more folks find out about the game and join us on this journey. Well, that's all for today. I've got a lot more exciting things to cover, like updates to the enemy pathing AI, world events, new biomes, and more. I'll be posting a devlog next week where I can cover that stuff and get us all ready for the next alpha test at the end of January. Stay tuned, and thanks for watching.